Good morning everyone. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Eucalyptus deglupta, more commonly known as the Mindanao gum. Our presentation, Cultivating the Living Rainbow, will provide a comprehensive profile, covering its unique botany, detailed nursery propagation techniques, and effective commercial silviculture practices. This remarkable tree is truly a living work of art, and we're excited to explore it with you. One of the most captivating aspects of the Mindanao gum is its exfoliation phenomenon and the resulting color oxidation timeline. The process begins in stage 1, as the tree irregularly sheds its smooth, paper-thin bark, revealing fresh, chlorophyll-rich underlayers. Then, in stage 2, as this newly exposed bark reacts with air and sunlight, oxidation begins, progressively deepening its vibrant hues. By stage 3, tannins develop as the bark tissue matures, shifting the spectrum towards warmer colors. Finally, in stage 4, the bark reaches the end of its life cycle, darkening completely just before the next exfoliation cycle commences. The key insight here is that because this shedding occurs intermittently across different zones of the trunk, the tree is constantly changing color. No two patterns are ever repeated, making each tree truly unique. Let's take a closer look at the specimen dashboard for Eucalyptus deglupta. Taxonomically, it belongs to the Myrtaceae family, the Eucalyptus genus, and its species is E. deglupta. It's known by several common names, including Rainbow Eucalyptus, Mindanao gum, and Camariri. Its origins are unique among its genus, as it's the only eucalyptus naturally occurring in the Northern Hemisphere, native to Mindanao, Papua New Guinea, Sulawesi, and Ceram. In terms of dimensions, it's a giant, reaching heights of up to 75 meters, or 250 feet, with a trunk diameter of up to 3 meters, or 10 feet. It also boasts a fast growth rate, up to 2 to 3 meters per year under optimal conditions. Morphologically, it's a broad-leaved evergreen with long, narrow leaves, up to 30 centimeters long and 5 centimeters wide. It produces small white flower clusters in spring and summer, followed by woody seed capsules. Moving on to seed harvesting and storage, there are precise metrics to follow. For harvesting, collect mature pods directly from the canopy, typically from November to May, with a peak in February in Papua New Guinea. Interestingly, even first-year plantings can flower profusely and produce viable seeds. For extraction, expose the pods to direct sun for 2 to 3 days. Then, rub them gently to release the seeds, filtering them through a 0.3 mm sieve. A key yield metric is that about 2% of the pod weight will be seeds, netting an impressive 15,000 to 23,000 seeds per gram. Unlike recalcitrant seeds, E. deglupta seeds exhibit orthodox storage behavior. To maintain high viability for several years, seal them in polyethylene bags or glass jars and store them strictly at 0 to 5 degrees Celsius. When it comes to germination, we utilize dual-track protocols tailored for different scales. Track A, the precision method, is ideal for small-scale operations. It involves a solution of 2.5 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide mixed with 470 milliliters of room-temperature water. Spritz the seeds onto a dry paper towel, fold it, and seal it in a plastic bag to lock in moisture. Germination is visible in just 3 to 4 days, with the shell visibly breaking. For larger, forestry-scale operations, we use Track B, commercial beds. The bed architecture consists of a 10 to 15 centimeter total depth, with a base layer of 1 centimeter of washed gravel topped with clean sandy loam. For density control, mix 1 part seed to 2 parts sand for even distribution, targeting about 5 seeds per square centimeter. A crucial irrigation warning: apply water via fine misting or bed soaking. Overwatering is detrimental and guarantees root rot for these delicate emergent seedlings. Effective nursery management is critical, particularly our shade matrix, which carefully balances sunlight exposure over time. On day 1, we start with 70% shade, offering critical protection from UV and heavy rain. This is gradually reduced to 50% shade by day 10 to 14, then 20% shade by week 4. Finally, by week 10 to 12, the seedlings receive 0% shade, meaning full sun exposure. The potting transition occurs when seedlings reach 2 to 3 centimeters tall with their first main leaves. At this point, we transplant them into 6 by 20 cm containers using a sieved, high-quality sand and soil mix. For feeding and root maintenance, liquid fertilizer is applied at weeks 1, 6, and 10. Root cutting is performed when the seedling reaches 15 cm in height. Our target is for seedlings to be ready for field transplantation at 3 to 4 months old, typically when they are 20 to 30 cm tall. Understanding the site requirements is paramount for successful cultivation. Our scorecard covers 4 key qualities. First, solar exposure. This tree has a high necessity level, thriving exclusively in full sun. It requires a minimum of 6 hours of direct sunlight daily for both rapid growth and optimal bark color saturation. Second, hydration. Also a high necessity level. Deglupta is highly susceptible to drought. Ideal locations border freshwater ponds, rivers, or canals, and ambient humidity must remain high, above 60%. Third, soil composition. This has a moderate necessity level. It prefers well-drained, sandy loam soils rich in organic matter, with a pH between 5.5 and 7.5. The soil must balance rapid drainage with sufficient moisture retention. Finally, temperature and frost. This is a sensitive necessity level. The tree is highly vulnerable to freezing. A hard freeze can cause mortality within 24 hours. In temperate zones, a 2.5 cm layer of organic mulch over the root system is required during winter months to protect it. Now, let's detail the field transplantation protocol. Step 1 focuses on timing and spacing. Transplant during midsummer or at the onset of the wet season. Space trees 3 to 5 meters apart to accommodate their rapid canopy expansion. Step 2 is root preparation. Dig a hole precisely matching the depth of the container root ball. A crucial action here is to manually separate any bottom tangle of roots prior to planting. This prevents circular root binding and promotes deep soil penetration, ensuring healthy establishment. Step 3 involves soil integration. Backfill the hole using specialized tropical fruit tree soil, which is rich in microbes and micronutrients. Water heavily until surface saturation is clearly visible at the trunk base, ensuring the soil settles around the roots. For silviculture lifecycle and yield management, we operate on a specific density and thinning schedule, based on 4 by 4 meter spacing, resulting in 625 trees per hectare initially. Years 0 to 2 are for establishment. Fastidious weeding is critical for the first 6 months until the canopy closes, and regular vine cutting is required for several years to prevent sapling smothering. At year 4, we conduct the first thinning, reducing density down to 260 trees per hectare. At year 10, a second thinning brings the density down to 170 trees per hectare. Finally, at year 18, a final thinning reduces the stand to 120 trees per hectare. The harvest target is typically between year 20 and 25. Final felling occurs when the stand achieves a minimum height of 20 to 30 meters and a diameter at breast height greater than 30 centimeters. Let's explore the ecological dynamics of Eucalyptus deglupta, specifically its relationship with water and fire. Regarding the water draw, like many eucalypts, deglupta possesses a massive moisture absorption capacity. Historically, it has been utilized in various global regions to dry out swampy terrain, making it highly competitive with surrounding understory vegetation for water resources. Pertaining to the fire relationship, its leaves secrete highly flammable eucalyptol oils, which vaporize into an easily ignitable haze under intense heat. While vulnerable to extreme fire, the species has evolved strong regenerative capabilities, utilizing protected lignotubers to rapidly sprout new growth from charred stumps following a burn, demonstrating remarkable resilience. Now, let's look at application I, its commercial utility and timber value. First, for paper and pulp, Deglupta is a leading species for global paper production. Its fast growth rates and long, strong fibers make it economically superior for pulpwood plantations, heavily utilized by companies like Advance Agro for double-a-copy paper. Second, for heavy construction, its high compression strength and moderate density make the timber highly suitable for structural beams, load-bearing posts, and flooring. Third, in fine woodworking, the heartwood provides excellent stability for cabinetry, furniture, decorative veneers, and turned goods. Lastly, for secondary uses, it yields high-quality charcoal and can also be used as landscape mulch. Beyond its commercial timber, Deglupta holds significant ornamental and ecotourism value. As an ecotourism anchor, it serves as a massive draw for nature photographers and tourists, recognized as a signature natural wonder along Maui's famous road to Hana and the Keihua Arboretum in Kauai. In landscape architecture, it's utilized extensively as a majestic shade canopy tree in tropical and subtropical estates, botanical gardens, and parklands. It's particularly valued in high-moisture landscape designs, such as lake edges or ornamental ponds, where its substantial water demands can be met effortlessly. Finally, while lower in cineole than E. globalis, its leaves are still harvested for aromatic and therapeutic eucalyptus essential oils, adding another layer to its utility. In closing, Eucalyptus deglupta truly stands out as the ultimate dual-purpose hardwood. It defies the standard limits of commercial forestry, simultaneously serving as a high-yield, rapidly renewable resource driving global pulp and timber industries, and a breathtaking botanical phenomenon admired worldwide. Our final takeaway is this: mastering its cultivation, from meticulous nursery shade management to rigorous 25-year thinning schedules, unlocks the full potential of one of the most uniquely valuable tree species on Earth.